live, Gail.
I forgot Deidre mama was in the car last night and somebody was in there cussing. I said, Miss Ann, I finna put her after talk.
Miss Ann be cursing too. Yeah. We live. Oh, yeah, I said it. I said what I said. So y'all want to continue the conversation?
You say Deidre mama cuss.
Come on, tag Deidre.
Deidre, that's too say something about your mama over here. He talking about Miss Ann over here.
Miss Ann let out a ripped a couple of good ones.
Y'all lying.
You mess with her daughter, she gonna ride them both.
Hey, look, I love me some Miss Ann.
Look, wait a minute, somebody owed Deidre some money. Miss Ann got in her car, she rolled up on him and she got that money.
I didn't call her mama.
Two people she done got her daughter some money.
Hey, Miss Ann pulled up and said, I need that. I need that. Right. I need that.
And then there was a heavy hitter she got the money from.
And y'all lied. Hey, Miss Ann.
Hey,
Right.
Don't play, Miss. Don't play.
Right. All right, y'all. Look, y'all crazy as hell, man. These folks crazy. Look. The sentiments you just heard do not necessarily belong to the Antonio Parkinson Project.
And it wasn't Gail Jones Carson either.
Oh my God. All right, y'all. Give me a countdown, Josh.
5, 4.
Josh, why you always got to start from 5, man? Just a 3.
Leave him alone. Stop hunching that man.
Stop hunching him. Hey, we be looking like, we be like this.
Let the man do the work.
Okay. Oh, okay.
He bring value.
He honcho people.
He bring value.
He said honcho.
Yeah, he honcho.
Let me get something clear.
Oh,
Because
my
your boss is on the show, don't mean
you gonna cut. Yeah.
Hey, Nicole. You hear how stiff she sounds?
Yeah.
Look.
What he needs me trying to do is
She got some bag.
He be paying his child support while he wants.
Baby mama come on the show and she just cut up in front of company every time.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, that was the pre-show. Give me
Oh,
a pre-show.
God. Oh,
Okay.
Lord.
Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. Today, we are talking about Memphis and Shelby County Schools takeover. Also, Trump shutting down the Department of Education. And Tesla is tanking. Also, we got Gail Jones Carson on the show. And go to Gail Jones Carson real quick. Bam.
I'm Gail Jones Carson.
There she is.
In the house.
And we also have Sharita Nicole. She is an author. And we're going to talk about her life and her book in a couple of segments. So don't go anywhere. I promise you, you do not want to miss this show. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast.
Say that.
in
Say
Memphis
that.
market.
Say
Let's
that.
give it up for that. Yeah.
That's only till I get mine going.
Baby mama taking over.
Hey, look.
He'll be number 2, y'all. He'll be number 2.
And we're going to produce it.
Here.
Hey, this segment is brought to you by popularmail.com. Welcome our special guest, Gail Jones Carson, in the building. Give it up for her. Yeah, man, I'm sitting here looking at these notes, and somehow in these notes, it does not say introduce your host.
Oh, no.
Right.
She said you should know by now. Look, she ain't looking.
I'm just kidding, Nicole. I'm just kidding. Y'all give it up for my lovely co-host, Angelica Jelly Woods, in the building. Give
Thank
it up for her.
y'all. They said I'm on my best behavior because Gail here.
Ooh.
You don't have to be on your best behavior. I don't know that.
I'll tell you, she code switching. She code switching.
They lying.
Do it. She ain't got Kojak.
I
You
got
see
my
this
right
Kojak?
here. I got
Okay.
Chick-fil-A today. They might be a sponsor. I'm speaking them in our life.
Look, hey Kojak, I'm gonna guard these 2 cups over here because you know what happened. Anytime a cup gets close, right, it all of a sudden gets absconded. Y'all give it up for my DJ. That's my DJ Kojak in the building. Give it up for him one time.
Believe
Yeah.
Angelica said I was walking down the middle.
Walking
That
down the
is.
middle. Walking down the middle.
Coach
Little
Ed,
middle.
Gail coming in here spilling all the tea.
Silence it out, baby.
Yeah, he can't pick no side.
She said that the last time I was here.
Ain't
He
gonna
can't
pick
pick
no
no
side.
side. Now he did DJ the Urban League party. You remember him, right?
Yeah,
That's
we
the
turned
DJ.
on. Look,
He did a good
oh,
job.
look at
Yeah,
the tune
not
change
there,
now.
like,
Trying to say, let me
look.
get
Good
the tune.
job.
Shout out to the Urban League. Man. Shout out to Urban League
Hey, let me
for
say
having
this
me.
before we get started. You know, we appreciate our 7,000 plus viewers on subscribers rather on our YouTube channel and our 8,000 others that are on our other social media channels. But I do want to say this. Let me appeal to all of our viewers out there. You know, there are more than, you know, we're at right at about 6.5 million views. So that means that
Oh, wow.
a lot of the viewers that are watching are not actually subscribed.
Oh yeah.
And it will really, really be helpful to
Everybody
us
said,
if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button or go ahead and hit that like and that follow button. If you're watching on our social media platforms other than YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook right now, if you go ahead and hit that like button, that follow button, that will really, really be helpful to us here at the Antonio Parkinson Project. And we truly, truly appreciate everybody's support. So I want to throw that out there. And again, we thank everybody for all of their support for this first year that we've just surpassed in doing the Antonio Parkinson Project. So now let's get into the show. Hey, y'all, Tesla is struggling. The Cybertruck has been recalled. As of yesterday, they recalled every single Cybertruck out there.
Wow.
How many was it?
I don't know how many it was, but we may know in just a second.
How much the stock dropped to?
Ma'am, I'm doing this interview. I appreciate your Virgo energy. Right. I appreciate your Virgo energy. But the Tesla, but speaking of the stock, the Tesla stock is in the gutter right now.
I got out just in time.
Right.
I got out just in time.
And so, and some of the Tesla vehicles were actually set on fire, and there's a mob of people that's protesting Tesla. And I think we got a little video. Josh, run that video.
Run that video.
Multiple cars were set on fire at a Tesla service center in Las Vegas Tuesday morning in what authorities described as a targeted attack. And the person responsible is still at large. A vehicle fire was first reported around 2:45 a.m. at the Tesla Collision Center in the 6,000 block of Bajira Avenue, near Jones Boulevard and the 215 Beltway. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police said in an email. Multiple Tesla vehicles, dealerships and charging stations have been vandalized in recent weeks around the nation, including in Oregon and Washington State. Protests have been staged at Tesla dealerships as well in response to the company's CEO Elon Musk and his work with President Donald Trump.
In other countries.
Yeah.
Burning up
Wow.
stuff.
Now, Kojak, I have a question. Is the Cybertruck that little? We walking back. It was not. We gotta walk him back. We had a video.
Okay, all right.
That video was
Now, how he
crazy. That
gonna
video
say
was
something?
crazy. That
He
video
said
was
go to
crazy.
camera to Angelica, but then gonna tell me what to do when the camera on me.
Right. Somebody got to run the show.
Exactly. Now, is that Cybertruck that box toy looking ugly?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I've seen some in Memphis.
Right,
Because
yeah.
They look
They
like
hideous.
they
Yeah.
what people drive in the war. You know?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Like a little. They're expensive.
They are expensive.
They how much?
Yeah.
Well, how go? Wow. Oh,
Mhm.
Lord.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're it's what they're in what 100K something like that. And
I'm about to look
But
it
you
up.
know what, Antonio?
Uh-huh.
This is what I tell people all
what
the
you tell
time.
people, Gail Jones Carson?
People think
Step up to that mic.
they think they can't be touched. Okay.
Mhm.
But this man is the richest man in the world,
Mhm.
and he is a very powerful man, and he's being touched every day around the world
Mhm.
through his vehicles, his chargers, his stock dropping. I mean, literally, if you took a poll today of the top 2 most hated people in the world, not America, who do you think it would be?
Trump and
Trump,
Elon.
Elon.
So, I mean, you can't make me believe that anybody wants to be the most hated anything. And even though he's the richest man in the world, if you keep losing billions, like one day he lost 16 billion, I read, another day 22,
Yeah.
but you keep losing them billions,
It
you were going to
accumulates.
see who's going to be the
Yeah.
richest man or person in the world.
And
Yeah.
then Trump and Elon have those Teslas outside the White House doing a press release. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, and
Advertisements.
then
Yeah.
didn't Trump say he was going to buy? He was buying one. He actually, I think he bought one.
Yeah.
He
And
did,
He said, no, he didn't, but he said he did
Yeah.
to get his ignorant
Yeah.
ass followers to buy.
Well, but now I'm gonna tell you. Now, I'm just gonna tell you what I've been saying on the real.
Just tell us what you've been
You
saying on
have
the real.
some of the real show that some of the MAGA people are upset with them
Yes.
because
Yeah.
of
I was
Elon.
gonna say that.
Now
Mhm.
I'm just telling you what I see now.
Right.
I was
I don't
gonna
know
say
if
that.
it's all true, but that's what's all over.
Yeah.
Well, Gail, if you say it, it's true.
Oh, y'all know we
Right, right.
99.9% over here Virgo.
Them
we just
Virgos,
saying,
oh Lord.
Virgo, we
Believe that.
99.9% right.
In your own head,
That
in
other
your
one,
own mind,
head,
in
right.
your own mind, and they convicted by it too. But speaking of Trump, yesterday, day before yesterday, Trump signed an executive order to dismantle the federal Department of Education. And what exactly does that mean?
What does
Before
it
we
mean?
answer that, Gail, before we answer that, Gail, let's go to this video.
I will sign an executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education once and for all. Pell Grants, Title I funding, resources for children with disabilities and special needs will be preserved. Teachers, to me, are among the most important people in this country, and we're going to take care of our teachers. And I don't care if they're in the union or not in the union. That doesn't matter.
Ooh, man, listen.
so tired of
Now, this man just literally said the polar opposite of what dismantling the
Exactly.
Department of Education does.
He may not know what that means though.
And so I'm glad you
serious.
both brought that up because I had a conversation with my
Step up
granddaughter.
to your mic.
I had a conversation with my granddaughter Jasmine this morning, and she has heard the announcement, and she said, "Granny, well, what does that mean?" So I told her a few things. I said, "Jazz, if you want more details on what it means to dismantle the Department of Education,
Watch the
please,"
Antonio Parkinson
I said,
Project. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, and I said, please go on Google so you will have all of the facts. Because what I'm going to tell you is just very little about the how bad it's going to be, how it's going to hurt our children, how bad it's going to hurt those who are low income, those who are handicapped. I need her to read, and I need everybody to do their research on what this really means because it sounds big and far away, but it's going to have a direct and indirect impact on all of us.
Absolutely. So let's break it down. So dismantling the federal Department of Education. So first of all, let's go be clear. There's the Federal Department of Education.
Yeah.
Then there's our crappy state Department of Education. Then there's your local school board. All right. And your school district. That's your local Department of Education. All right. The Federal Department of Education sends money to the states, and the states send that money to your local district, to your county district.
Breaking that down.
Right. Now, the federal money is used as a carrot to make the states do right. You follow me? There's $400 million of federal money that comes into Shelby County. 400 million.
Wow.
$400 million of federal money that comes into Shelby County directly from the feds.
Oh, wow.
But there may be more because the state of Tennessee sends 800 million to the county for the education also. Now, but some of that may be Fed money also, right? Now, so what the feds do, they say, hey, if you take this money, you cannot discriminate against black folks. You cannot discriminate against those that with disabilities. We ain't gonna say handicap like Gail said. You cannot discriminate against you cannot discriminate against gay kids, right? And others, right? You have to have IEPs, right? Which means individual education. I got you, Nicole. Individual education plans for children that need a little more help, right? So, and so when they remove that department, they may still send some money, probably not all, but those requirements would then be left up to the states. Now, you think about the state of Tennessee. Come on,
Lord.
man.
Oh,
They are, right. Think about it. They just passed a piece of legislation that said if you are an undocumented immigrant, you cannot even go to Tennessee schools. Now, the federal law under the Federal Department of Education says all children will be educated, undocumented or not.
And that's ALL.
And when they dismantle the Federal Department of Education, that is pushed down. That decision is pushed down
Oh
to the states.
Lord.
Mm.
It's
So-
on the
so-
decision already
Yep.
made in
And
Tennessee.
it
Mhm.
affects black dollars. It affects dollars going to HBCUs because there's no federal Department of Education. It affects Pell Grants. It affects all of this stuff. The Department of Education covers those Pell Grants, covers money going to the colleges and universities.
Yeah,
Now
special
they're
programs.
talking about pushing it all to the states for the states to decide what they're going to
So
do with it.
what about the children? There are children we all know who
Mhm.
the first meals that they have or the only meals they have are at school.
Right?
What about that?
That's FDA money, so it's a different department.
Oh, okay.
Right, where the school lunches and free lunch and all that stuff
Okay,
comes from.
that's
But they're trying to, dismantle that too. So,
Oh Lord.
under their Doge department. But now, so that's what's happening. But speaking of education, I wish you'd have caught that. Speaking of education, the state of Tennessee is trying. Speaking of dismantling education,
Come on
anyway,
now.
the state of Tennessee has proposed taking over
Oh, Jesus.
Memphis and Shelby County schools. And
I'm so tired
before
of this topic.
before we jump
Me
into
too.
that, Gail,
God.
before
Me
you
too.
bite at the bits, to respond to that, I think we got a little
I'm
video.
tired
Josh,
of
run that
y'all.
video.
Objective would be for the state to come in and take over the school system, put a different board in place for a certain period of time and allow them to have the capability of turning the schools around, and then also maybe bring in a director of schools if that's the desire that they want to.
Less than a week after the Memphis Shelby County School Board fired the superintendent, a top state lawmaker says it is time for a takeover. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Darcy Thomas.
And I'm Daryl Green. School board members and other local leaders who opposed firing Dr. Marie Fagan said at the time the state stepping in would be one of the consequences. And today, that consequence began to take shape.
Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon is in studio tonight. Kayla, you spoke with Tennessee House Speaker Cameron Sexton about his plans today.
Yeah, as you heard there, his objective is to clean house at Memphis Shelby County Schools. No bill to do it has been filed yet, but Speaker Sexton says it's being drafted as we speak.
But I can tell you, is the people who don't want the state to come in, we've had 3 to 5 decades of bad public schools, bad decisions, nepotism, all kinds of things going on in the Shelby County schools.
Republican state leaders want to appoint members to the Memphis Shelby County School Board. House Speaker Cameron Sexton, a Republican from Crossville, east of Nashville, says he does not see this as an overreach.
The interesting aspect is the states created the federal government and the local governments. And so we have a constitutional ability and authority to have oversight over local government.
It is true that it is overreach, but it's also the state deciding it wants to take your assets.
State Representative Karen Camper, a Memphis Democrat, has a much different view. She says she sees it as the state also wanting to take over the almost $2 billion in the district's operating budget. She also thinks it's an unnecessary move.
Really, I think we need to allow the locals to decide their own destiny. You know, we duly elected, constitutionally elected school board whose job it is to hire and fire a superintendent. That's the only employee that they manage and run.
Now, as you heard, House Speaker Sexton says Memphis Republican Representative Mark White, who chairs the House Education Administration Committee, will sponsor.
All right, y'all. So now that's a bit of an older video, and by the magic of television, the actual video be in there. But however, that bill has been introduced. It did pass out of subcommittee this week. And what that bill does is this: it basically literally mutes the voice of your elected school board. And it says they're going to appoint a 9-member advisory board that will make the decisions instead of your school board.
Oh, wow.
And it says that charter schools can now come in and apply directly to the charter commission. It also says that they can convert the whole district to a charter district completely, and a whole lot of other things that just absolutely are unconstitutional.
What?
And so, the fight is going to begin if they try to pass the bill. It has passed in the first committee. And now it is scheduled to go into the Education Full Committee for passage. I don't know if Representative Mark White, who was the bill sponsor, if he's going to run it. Look at Gail. If he's going to run it next week, or he's going to run it in a few weeks, but it's out there. And
Jesus.
but it will be a legal fight. Yeah, Gail,
So
you look
will
like
it
you step up
impact
to your
the
mic.
other 94
Step up to your mic.
will impact the other 94 counties?
Thank you for asking that question. Here's how they tried to separate Shelby County from all of the other 94 counties.
Lord.
They said if your county commission has voted a vote of no confidence on your school board,
Wow.
then that is the
Wow.
qualifier.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Shelby
Wow.
County
Wow.
is the only county
Wow.
that has happening.
That has done that
the
stupid
94
shit.
counties, no other county has done that other than the Memphis, the Shelby County Commission here in Shelby County.
And
So he added that on there. That was added on there. That way,
Right.
no other school will be impacted. Only Memphis and Shelby County schools.
I did not know that.
Right. Yeah. And you
it's
know.
called reading. It's fundamental.
I'm not the workplace. I know, Rocky. I brought her up.
Wow.
To her, everybody's the godmother of politics, okay? She breathe and live politics. Not me, okay?
Somebody in the comments asked, why are they so interested in our schools? We
$2
aren't the
billion.
only ones with
$2 billion. $2 billion.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
$2 billion
The budget. Here's what I've learned, though. Here's what I've learned. They want to get their hands on that property. Last year they passed a bill that said, you know, the Shelby County schools must make a list of all of their properties, those that are fully used, those that are partially used, those that are underutilized, and those that are empty. They are to submit that list to the comptroller of the state. And any charter school that wants to get one of those buildings, they get first right of refusal, and they can buy it at under the appraised value, under market value, rather.
Wow.
Now, the hedge funds that own these charter management organizations, you know, they are about their money, right? And see, people think that when these charter schools, it's about educating these kids. None of this shit is about educating our kids. They don't give two shits about how you know bright our kids are. Let me qualify that for those that want to come after me. Shelby County schools reading proficiency is a dismal 30.5% proficient in reading. That's dismal. The state of Tennessee's reading proficiency is 35.6%.
So
also dismal.
Yeah. With the state, right?
With the damn state. The
So
state
how they gonna
the
help?
whole state is shit.
So how they gonna help?
When it comes to reading proficiency.
God,
Right.
Lord.
So now we understand this is not about
Do
education.
they know that?
They do now.
Oh,
The public does now.
Lord.
But shit, spread the word.
Yeah,
we
Jesus.
know this is about the property and the money and privatization of this school district. State takeover simply means privatization.
Well, let me ask you this, Representative. Do you think the people who have down here, who have pushed for the takeover, do you think they understand what it means for the state to come in and take over? Do you think they really know?
I absolutely know they know because they've been getting paid already.
Oh Lord, they're gonna turn a left
by
turn.
the same people that want to privatize
Well,
the
I
school
heard
district.
somebody's supposed to be getting a $3 million grant. Is that true?
I don't know.
Ooh, look at her. She all gotta come with some hot tea.
Explain
I
it.
just asked her.
Right.
Somebody said something
Right.
about $3 million.
$3 million,
I'm
right.
not sure about. That's what I just heard the other
Hey,
day.
I wouldn't be
didn't tell
surprised.
me- They
Where the
didn't tell
money
me,
at?
but they just said there's a $3 million grant somewhere.
Oh, where is that?
I didn't get all the details because I told her I ain't in it.
Yes, she did. She got the details. She
So,
could tell ya.
so you know, and
Think about that.
those of you that if you want a further explanation, because I
Let me go with
thoroughly
these
explained
comments.
state takeover in the live video that I did, and we'll post a link to that live video so you can understand what this means.
Well,
But state
what I
takeover-
don't understand is why the representative who up there on the hill don't know who getting the money. That's what I don't understand.
Well, maybe the money ain't been allocated yet, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you don't know when it's allocated.
And who are they getting it from?
Well, okay, so when you don't know.
It sounds like
So when he find out, he gonna drop
this
this clip. That's what he gonna do.
It sounds like the head of the Urban League already knows and don't want to drop the T.
That's called
She ain't the
libel
Urban
and
League.
That up,
slander.
Kojak.
That's called libel and slander if
Right.
you don't have the facts.
Right.
And I ain't trying to be sued
I
right now.
understand.
I'm
Hello.
waiting for you to get the facts.
Oh, okay. You want me to be sued? Right.
Not if you got the facts.
Right. Speaking of Urban League, we got to talk about this. You got a great event coming up.
Yeah.
Tell us
Oh,
about
yeah.
it.
I
Tell us
forgot.
about it.
So-
forget. Look.
Right.
We have,
Look at Nicole's like, whoops.
and I want to see everybody in here at the Mardi Gras Gala on April the 12th. At 6 p.m., it's going to be at the Old Hard Rock Cafe right at the corner of Bill and Second, 126 Bill. Today, listen up, y'all.
Step up to your mic if you want them to hear your offer.
Today is the last day for our 2-for-1 special.
Kojak.
So if you pay $150, you get 2 tickets. That's $75 each. Now that's a good deal because we're gonna have some great entertainment. We're gonna have some great food. We're gonna have a party.
And we're gonna be
So after today, the tickets will be $125
Kojak.
per person. So you can go to our website, memul.org. That's memul.org and pay for your tickets. Today is the last day.
How much you said?
Look,
You put out the last $2.
That's enough for parking.
That's
enough for parking, maybe.
That's his tip money.
That's some people and that's $1 bill.
That's his strip club money.
That's some $1 bill they're gonna give through the door. But we're gonna have some great entertainment, great food. We're gonna have a party. We want you to wear your mask. It's gonna be great. There's some of y'all don't have masks. We'll have a few to give out.
Some people look like they got masks on already.
Oh, God. Really? So petty, man.
But if y'all don't mind, I really got to mention who our sponsor,
sure better say the right one
Antonio
first.
Parkinson Project.
Come on. That's right. We did that. We did that.
Kojak.
We so appreciate the support because they helped us with our great programming. And then we got Nike, we got Baptist Memorial Hospital, Comcast, Memphis Tourism, Antonio Parkinson again, and General Sessions Court Clerk Tammy Sawyer. And then we got somebody who's going to be partnering us from out of Houston, and that's the Houston Benz Healthcare Center. They're going to be working with us on this high population of AIDS in Shelby County from the 15 to 24-year-old group.
Okay, that's what's up, man. We're gonna bring Josh so Josh can capture some of these pictures too at the event.
Yeah.
So
we got a balance. Well, we get some photos. Okay, look at Josh like.
So we're bringing the whole squad. So you make sure you have a table for us.
Well, we got a table.
You're gonna be good.
We don't want no shit.
Oh, you give him a table, girl?
Angelica, can we get him
a table? We give him a table. That means Kojak get to come.
Kojak gets to come, right?
Oh, look, Kojak happy now, boy. He
happy with a little tight ass dress on. Nicole gonna be there with that little tight ass dress on.
Look, it can be any color you want. It's a gala though, so you got to be real cute. Come on, they're cute.
Hey, Gail, but real quick, why are we doing this gala for the Urban League? Tell us what our purpose is.
One of the things that we do at the Memphis Urban League, we provide support, programming, and help to young people, senior citizens, and those in underserved communities. So we focus a great deal on mentoring, on education, and a lot that we do in training, and a lot that we do, I believe, is this: if you give a person a fish, they eat for a day. You teach them how to fish, they eat for a lifetime. So we at the Memphis Urban League, we want everybody to eat for a lifetime. We want them to be able to take care of themselves and their families for a lifetime. Because if they're not working, if they're not trained, they're going to find a way to feed themselves and their families. So we have, right now, we have a construction jobs program, and they can learn all kinds of skills that they can have. And those jobs pay good money, comes with benefits. And as they learn, they get paid.
That's what's up.
And it's a 4-week program.
And we need to be taking advantage of that, maximizing that.
We moving it out there. We're moving it out there. We're in our second class in April. And so, I mean, that's a great program. But one of the things I've learned, too, is there's difficulty for some people to pass the apprenticeship program. So our program is a pre-apprenticeship program. So at the end of the 4 weeks, people should be able to pass those apprenticeship programs in which they also get paid. But we had a summer youth program last summer that we were mostly very proud of. It was the Lee Harris Urban Fellowship Program. The mayor, he supported it financially. One of our board members, Danielle Anez, she helped push it through to make sure it happened. And we trained people on 3 different tracks. They got certifications at the end of the summer, and they got paid. Those students got paid while they learned.
They got paid.
They got paid. So, I mean, we take great pride. We have another program for 55 and older. Touche, you think you can get in there? If it's 55
shit, I'm 55 and older.
Are you?
I'm
so
seasoned,
this
baby.
is before I was at the Urban League, I guess I never really thought about people not knowing how to use computers and laptops. So a lot of people, they just haven't had really a need to use a laptop and a computer.
We know you go to sleep with yours. So
I know, baby. She the guru.
Right.
But anyway,
she the feds on that computer. Okay, she gotta do everything.
They learn everything they need to know just the basics about using computers. They learn about using email and everything else. And that's first 4 weeks. And then the second 4 weeks, which is a higher level, they learn additional skills on the computer that hopefully there's some of them they can go get other jobs.
Yeah.
You know.
So give them their website again, so they know how to get there.
memul.org. MEMUR. But I got to tell you about one more other. So
Okay.
y'all know how a lot of people wake up one day and they just want to have a business. Well, and that's good. And they may have a good service, a good product, but they don't know how to do the business side. So the Memphis Urban League, we have a 14-week program in which they learn everything from A to Z on how to run a business. And at the end of
that's important though.
Exactly.
And a growth plan, 3-year growth plan.
And at the end of that period, they should be able to do a 3-year business plan that they can take to any lending or financial institution. So I'm very proud.
I wonder if they can help the hip hop lounge.
And give you, and to help you, but they help you with government contracts. If you want to work with the city of Memphis,
So you
anything
get
like that.
certified through that?
No, not certified, but they make it where you can go, so you can be certified.
You learn everything you need to
Yeah.
know about running a business.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Be
telling you, a
ready.
lot of people, they got good services and good products,
Yeah.
but
Good
they
ideas.
don't know the business side of
It's
it.
a good, it's a good
And so
course.
it's one of
Use
the,
that.
I mean, all the programming that we have
Kojak.
young people,
We can use
we
that.
partner with other organizations, with students who want to go on job interviews. We have a whole room full of
I wish you step up
clothes.
to the mic. They teaching that over
We
there.
have a whole room full of clothes, where, you know, suits or
Yeah.
casual, whatever they need for
Wow.
job
I'm
interviews.
taking donations
we
to
do
Parkinson.
that.
Okay, I
We
got some
do
stuff for you.
that. Yeah, we
I got a
do.
question for you though. I got a question for you. And we got to wrap this segment up because Nicole is giving
And
us
not
a
Gail,
look.
not Gail who said, I
Right,
got
right,
5
right,
minutes.
right.
I got
But
5
let
minutes.
me ask
And
you
here
this.
she
Show
is.
me to watch.
Look,
That's
but
Gail's
let me
something
ask
to
you
try.
this.
back
though.
on
It's
her.
definitely gonna be his own standalone show. Let me ask you this because Gail done did that shit.
Yeah.
Why don't y'all, Gail? Seriously, this is a serious question.
Okay.
Why don't y'all take that business program to the high schools?
They're
That's
actually,
dope.
go, I'll let her answer. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, that's something we can look at. But now we are in the high school.
No. I
We
want to
are
stay
in the
right
high-
there. Why don't y'all take that
Yeah.
business program to the high school?
Can you help us find the money for it?
I can help y'all do something.
Yeah,
figure it
thank
out.
you.
Right.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
serious.
dead ass serious too.
I promise.
Yeah.
Representative now. If you
Yes.
can help us find the funding, we will start in the
But
school.
the schools may have the funding for it.
No,
So
they
we don't
Some
know.
school
We don't.
we in now don't
we-
even
we don't- we
have
don't- we-
computers.
we-
They don't even have
but we have
laptops.
not pitched it to the school board before. So let's leave it
Okay.
there. Give them the website one more time.
memul.org.
Yes.
memul.org. And y'all heard the representative say he was going to help me find some money to take this business program to the students. That's what I heard.
Look at Parkinson's face.
That's what I heard. Did y'all hear
All right, y'all. Y'all give it up for
Y'all
Gail
so
Jones in the building. Yeah.
The godfather,
Hey,
godmother of
listen,
politics.
Hey, listen. Hey, y'all don't go anywhere. Please don't go anywhere because when we come back, we got a very special lady coming up in the next segment.
I'm so
She
good.
wrote the book, The Beauty in My Scars. She has an incredible story
Yes.
about molestation and other things that happened in her life. You don't want to miss this. So please
Get
hit
your
that subscribe
tissue,
button. We'll be right
Jesus.
back. You're watching the Antonio
Look, he
Parkinson Project.
done raised my arm. She's real short.
All right.
They said you little.
Woo, okay then.
They said I'm little. Look,
Little
Kojak.
baby.
Yeah.
All right,
We
y'all.
about right there.
Y'all bear with us. Y'all bear with us. We're changing out, swapping out.
We live.
Yep, we're live already. Hey, Kojak, talk to TikTok.
Ain't you
for a
this
half
cute
second.
girl? Kojak, put this up.
We on TikTok. We live.
This is Kojak say, "What's up, TikTok?"
All
Oh, damn,
weekend.
bye, Gail.
Bye.
All right, give me a three. Give me a
She
three,
going to
2, 1.
Democratic thing.
Give me a countdown. Josh, give me another countdown, Josh.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's give it up for it. Yeah, and you see why. You see how them segments go, right?
Oh, baby, it's all over the
Y'all
place.
give it up for my lovely co-host, Angelica Jelly Woods, who is now relaxed because her boss is gone.
I ain't saying yeah, please.
You can be yourself now.
I was myself the whole time.
Hi, Angelica.
Hey guys, I'm free. I'm free of Virgo chains. I'm free. I'm just joking.
Y'all give it up for my DJ. That's my DJ, DJ Kojak in the building.
Yo,
Give it up
DJ.
one time.
We up in here.
Yeah, DJ Kojak, scratch it up for our guest one time,
Okay.
4 times.
Okay.
Scratch it up for our guest 4 times.
That's one time for the book, man.
Oh, Lord,
Y'all make sure y'all get this book.
Hey, Sharita, did you hear that?
I did.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
I thought you
You
was
gonna sell
saying
out.
to sanctify that line.
Your book getting ready to sell out. Your
You
book
said
getting
the
ready to
book- yeah,
sell
we
out.
received that now.
I received it.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, Kojak, before we get into the segment with Sharita, there was some stuff going on in Breakfast Club we got to talk about real quick. Well, yeah, what's it?
We sticking on that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Still on- we still on that. I told
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Just with the mess, man. If you missed the rant that she did, she went off. I'm talking about went off. Now we all know she just had a baby, and some people said it may be postpartum or whatnot, but she got a chance to vent how she really feel, man. Because Lauren LaRosa, she's came in, she stepped in, you know, in her absence, and she did her thing.
Mhm.
So when Jeff got back, she like, hold on now, this sister a little too good. They trying to get rid of me. And other folk like Corey Holcomb and you know, the internet's been tearing her ass
Oh,
up.
Jack, you better cut up.
But internet been tearing her up. And like Charlamagne said, you can't really pay that no attention. Envy said the same thing. So when they got on the show, instead of having a regular show, they had a whole show
come
to
to Jesus,
expose it.
Okay, I think we got a little video.
Yeah,
We got that. Let's play it.
Okay.
Oh, you better.
This woman every day. Every day. I don't have no reason to fucking hate on that girl. I don't. No, I didn't like her when I came back because I'm like, all right, what's going on? What's going on? She knew it. We had a conversation. Because the anger was misplaced. Nah, it ain't even you that I don't like. I'm realizing this is the way these niggas is doing shit up here that I don't like. Okay, got it. Now, it's her segment. I went to the person who does the intros, the sounds. I went to Taylor. Yo, Taylor, make Lauren her intro. Take Jess with the mess, all that shit. She says, things can't just change like that. Why the fuck not? Why not? Y'all changing everything else, and I'm the only one that don't know. My goofy ass don't know nothing. I'm just coming to work every day, just zippity-doo-dah-day. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, take my name out that shit. Jess with the Mess is not at Breakfast Club. I'm Jess Hilarious up here. Fuck, I'm Jessica Moore up here. Jess with the Mess is not being done. Lauren LaRosa is doing the shit. So that need to be her segment. I fought for that segment. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? While her fans and her people and the Breakfast Club people and you know, the people in the comments, man, I'm not ready to sit up here and act like I don't see that shit. Are y'all crazy? One thing I ain't never tried to do is act unbothered unless shit never bothered me. Man, what?
Ooh, I told you. I told you. She
that
was
was my
hot.
first time seeing it.
Yeah,
that's
but
Man, but look, let me ask the audience something, and I'm gonna ask you women in here too, because it's been a lot of estrogen, you know, popping off in here today.
you like
But
estrogen. Shut up.
but are women too hard and competitive on each other?
Yes,
And to the audience, y'all chime in on live too. Let us know if you think women are too hard and competitive with each other, especially black women, right? And y'all can answer that in here.
I'll let Sharita. I'm gonna call you Shree or Sharita. I don't know which one I'm using.
Whichever one you want.
Sharita.
Whichever one you want to use.
Okay. What you think?
I believe so.
Mhm.
Very in competition with each other instead of us really encouraging each other. Like, hey, I got this plan. I know how to do this. Let me help you with it.
Mhm.
It's always a competition.
Mhm.
Like it's not enough money out there for all of us to get it. So that's just my input on it.
And why do you feel that way though?
I would say from personal experience, even from coming from high school, because I think Jess talked about it being ran like a high school on her
Mhm.
little
Yep.
thing that she had going on. It's always someone who looks at you like competition, where
Mhm.
you may not even be looking at that person. You might be like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
Ain't paying them no attention.
Not even really thinking about them. And
Right.
they're like, they looking at you like you're competition. I'm like,
You know, usually it's always something that you got that they want.
Yeah.
People say, oh, they don't like me for no reason. No, there's a reason.
Yeah.
You know,
A
it's
little
usually
bit.
you got something that they want. But give us an example of a personal experience that makes you say that.
Man. Okay, I can say from a work environment.
Mhm.
It was a lady who used to always say, why are you always so happy? You always come
They
in
be mad
and
when
you're
you're
on
happy.
you're on 10.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, well, what's the problem? What kind of pills you on?
Mhm.
What you taking every day?
Give me one.
And of course, me being the person I am, Jesus,
Jesus.
Jesus.
you know, and I'm just like, and she really picked with me, like
Mhm.
if I was 1 minute late or you know, whatever, it was just always something.
Mhm.
And so I just didn't understand. I didn't get it. And I'm just like, what did I do to you? But
Yeah.
of course, that's a self issue that people
Mhm.
have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But
I
I
can
think Jess doesn't naturally come off as a hater.
Mhm.
That's what I think she's trying to say. She don't naturally, she never gave that vibe. She feel like she just tells the truth. I think
Mhm.
people get truth
Mhm.
telling confused with hating.
And then they get it mixed
they
up
do.
when how the message is delivered.
Yes.
People can't stand directness, man.
Yeah, they don't like
affects people.
and she
Well-
real direct.
Mhm.
A little too,
and
but
she
she's
said
a,
that though.
but she's a, I think she's a postpartum like not Parkinson. Kojak said.
You think so?
Yes,
Yes.
postpartum make you snappy and crazy. Okay, listen,
But
yes,
Jess was direct. Jess was direct before she got
but
pregnant.
she has a heightened like
Yeah.
it's like an anger, but she might be tired. I mean, when you tired, black women have always had a double show up on anything,
Mhm.
and then you feel like you being strategically pinned against your co-host or whatever who was there while you was on maternity leave. And we didn't show this part where Charlemagne texted her and was like, "No, y'all keep the drama going, y'all." You
Do it
know,
for the show.
yes, good
Yeah.
drama,
Mhm.
feed the numbers, y'all.
Feed into it. Yeah.
We normalize that it's okay to be in a competition or to be rude. And yes, we do. Women think of each other. I tell people all the time, we get dressed for the other woman. They be like, men be like, it don't take all that. Nah, so I tell you that Parkinson. He be like, come down here. I said, no, my toes is not done. People ain't gonna be zooming on my feet and my hands. Women looking at me crazy. Yeah, women. We dress for women. We do because we be critical.
Cross for good luck.
It's not cross, but if your toenails chipped, women are just very highly critical of other women. Period.
and that affects how you move.
Yes, it does.
Kojak, if a
Yes.
man is critical,
Hey,
about
we ain't talking about
you,
y'all.
does
It's
it
women's.
affect
We ain't
how
talking about
move?
you.
Definitely not. Definitely
Yeah.
not. But I
We
understand
ain't
what
talking
they're
about
saying.
men.
At one point, I was at the Department of Human Service, and I had to supervise. An office with
I remember them
300
days.
women,
Mhm.
and I'm talking about.
You was living a good life.
I mean, definitely want a good life. Because you got these things that's that as a man I'm looking like that's what you worry about, that's what you're thinking
That's what y'all
about,
do.
that's what's going on. So I think Jess was upset because the information wasn't given to her, and with the lack of information, you start creating things in your mind.
Yeah,
assumptions,
we
yeah.
crazy.
That's what I think it was.
And
I think,
she said that. She said
was
she
like,
put it
what's
together.
going on?
Yeah.
I'm kind of you putting stuff together that really don't go together sometimes.
Yeah.
But in her head, she felt that way. So
Somebody in the comments said women are too hard on each other and competitive.
Thank you.
And she said most definitely, and it's not a black woman thing. And
It's
she
an
said
all
she's
women
speaking
thing
from
now.
experience. So tell us a little bit about your life that where you've had these situations.
Can I piggyback on your
you
question?
can piggyback on my question if you want to.
Yeah, because even if you look at the book and you look on your scar on your face, how did you get that scar in the story behind women? Because a lot of people may need to know that since we're talking about women.
And so tell the story, but we'll talk about the book in the next segment. But yeah, tell the story.
Okay, so I dealt with a lot of anger growing up because of things that happened to me as a child, like the molestation and the rape from a family member. So with that anger built up, you couldn't say anything to me. You might have been looking at me saying, "Oh, I like her shoes," and I'm thinking you talking about me. So of course there's that anger that's coming up. So with me receiving my scars, it was not my fight. Nobody wants to believe that was not my fight. But anywho, my windows got bust out of my car.
You were in high school, right?
This was my freshman year in college.
Okay, college.
Freshman year in college. And I was in nursing school. And Of course, the regular drama. I was living in some apartments, and it was the hood. I was living with my sister because it was closer to the school that I was attending.
What school did you
I'm
go
from
to?
Millington. I went to the just because it's
Of
closed
course.
down now. Just because you
Right,
asked me,
well,
I
of
can't even
course,
think of it.
of course.
But anyways, it was a medical school in Bartlett.
Oh, okay.
that they
Okay,
had.
gotcha. Okay.
So that's where I was at.
Mhm.
A young lady, windows got busted out of my car. It wasn't for my car.
I don't know this
A few
part.
weeks passed. I ended up seeing the young lady that they said that did it. My sister's neighbor said it was like 3 girls that bust my windows out my car. Or
What
whatever.
do you mean it wasn't for your car?
Yeah,
It wasn't for my car. Me and the young lady that we lived in the same apartments, of course. Y'all know those old hood apartments that had like different stairwells for each set of apartments.
Yeah. That's
So,
how like Raleigh
yes.
Station down here off of Jackson. Yeah.
So we were in Watkins Manor. This was-
Shit. Oh, we got stories.
That changed
I know
story.
about that.
Okay, I
You
don't
know I'm
know.
from Fraser.
I don't know what that. I don't know nothing. I don't know none of that means.
Remember I told that story about Watkins
Oh, about the boy that came in there.
Yeah.
That's the same
Go
place.
ahead.
we were in Watkins Manor. So anywho, so we get into a fight.
That was good. I didn't even know
And she cussed me with like, do you guys remember that blade from Color Purple that she was cutting Mister with? She had
like
one
a
of those.
switchblade
Like,
something. Yeah,
mhm. Yes.
Really?
So she cuts me and
Over the busted windows?
because I'm like, did you bust my windows? And she was like, I don't know who you're talking about. I was like, well, your sister, I'm like, your sister said you did it too. So, so we get into the fight, right?
Oh, that's how it was the wrong person.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
So, anywho, I'm cut. I didn't know she was cutting
not
me.
regularly cut. Cut
Yes,
where?
like my chest.
What?
I have some scars here, my belly,
Oh, she was
and my face.
cutting,
Like she
cutting?
was just swinging.
see.
She wasn't hitting me. So me in my mind, because I've always used to fight, I'm like, oh, this is the easiest fight ever. Not knowing. So then, of course, adrenaline is rushing. I'm getting out of breath, all of that. I'm like, so my face started feeling funny. So first thing I do is feel for my face. I hear somebody, y'all know in the apartments, somebody gets fighting. It's a million people out there. So they're like, she cutting her. So they break us up. I start trying to run to the house. I start trying to run to the house to get a gun because I'm like, I'm about to kill her. And in this process, one of the guys from the apartments, he picks me up. He's running me. He like, man, cuz gonna kill us. That was the guy that I was talking to then. He was incarcerated. He's gonna kill us. He gonna kill us because something happened to you. So anyways, the ambulance come. They called the ambulance. All of that. It was like a whole lot that happened. I know we're on a short notice time, but I flatline once I get on.
What?
Oh wow,
ambulance.
this is new.
Flatline on the ambulance.
Wow.
They bring me back. Soon as we roll into the med, I flatline again.
Oh wow.
I wake up. There's a lady on me. Of course, she was giving me CPR. So I'm coming back. They're like, "Hey, we have her back." They're like, "Hey, we need A positive on standby." Blah 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 blah. Asking for everything medical. But once they hook me up and everything, my levels start going up by themselves, and they're like, they're not understanding. I bled for 3 hours. I did not receive anyone's blood. I left the hospital the same night.
What?
Same night.
I died twice and left the hospital the same night.
Same night. They watched me. Listen, they watched me because they were like, we just need to observe and make sure everything is fine.
What kind of insurance you have? This giving me you didn't have good insurance vibes. 'Cause how you leave the same night?
No,
I'm
like
joking.
they
I'm
was,
just joking.
it's giving me the Lord done kept me vibes. Listen. So yes, and I was not rolled out in a wheelchair. I walked out of the hospital.
Oh my God.
So of course that was a healing portion, leaving and all of that. And I had all this anger built up. Like I had in my mind, I know what I'm gonna do to her when I see her.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Like thinking of things like I'm gonna torture her. Like real life torture her. Like I'm gonna use the same thing she used. I'm pouring some alcohol in all her cuts.
Ooh.
Like, I had thoughts.
I would have
angry
acid.
before.
I had thoughts in my head that I know I shouldn't have been thinking.
Right.
Like it was,
And look, having been there, did you come to terms with it in your head too? After I do all of this, I'm okay. Because I remember when I felt that way when I was
you better
14,
shoot
and I was like, I don't care what the consequences are.
listen, it was like I was ready to be on the mug shot. Like,
man,
Whoa.
right. Yeah, I'm serious.
listen,
man. Yeah.
and it was really like, I tell people, it was my whole story is it's just God, because I ended up forgiving her within those 8 months. It was the first time that I heard the Holy Spirit say, hey, why not you? Because I'm like, why you let this happen? I've been fighting since high school, since middle school, fighting boys, girls, whoever. I know, because you know the me now.
You don't even look like
I don't know the other version.
Oh, sweet and shit.
I know.
But yes, anger will change you. Like when you don't deal with your issues, when you don't get the help that you need, it will change who you are.
It really will, and it becomes your norm.
And it's like it's normal.
It's normal. I'm telling you.
Like it's normal. You can walk around like it's nothing. But yeah, so I ended up forgiving her. She did do a little time, not a whole lot. My mom ended up passing from cancer, so I stopped going to court. I'm like, I'm not constantly doing this. And so I went to her baptism.
Wow.
We talked. She apologized. I apologized.
Wow.
It was, man.
Number God, because some people can't forgive somebody from cutting them off in the middle of the street.
Listen,
Right.
listen.
Hey, but look, y'all, listen. Don't go anywhere, because there's more to the story, and we're gonna talk about this book. I got the book right here, The Beauty in My Scars. There is more to the story.
Look at her scars.
So
on
do not go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's give it up for that. It's because you hear these stories, man. These are exclusives right here on the Antonio Parkinson Project. Y'all give it up for my lovely co-host, Angelica Jelly Woods.
Hey now, no. I'm on some new things. It's such a good story.
Yep, and give it up for my DJ. That's my DJ Coach.
Damn.
Okay, DJ.
Yep, and y'all give it up for Sharita. Sharita's in the building. We're gonna talk about the beauty in her scars.
Come on now, come on.
Look, before y'all, I'm sorry, y'all, but we got to do this before we get to her book, The Beauty in My Scars.
Yes.
There was an incident in Indiana, Angelica.
A teacher.
What did the teacher do, Angelica?
Well, she was 1 years old, and she was a former teacher at an Indiana school. Allegedly, she did this at two schools.
Schools?
Yeah, two schools. I'm reading two. Look, I ain't gonna say who one. Somebody back here really wanted to be them, and they feel like they had a missed opportunity. But I ain't gonna say it because we live, and I ain't trying to brag. But anyway, but she was charged with sexually abusing children.
What?
While wearing allegedly having them let her wear a mask.
Wait a minute, Angelica, you're not explaining this right, because I can't follow you, and I'm here with you.
You ain't following.
She was charged with abusing children and wearing a mask. What's she wearing?
She's trying to get the students to have
Mardi Gras mask, like you was trying to get me to put on.
I don't know. I don't know, but some type of mask. And some people get off on the weirdest.
It was a scream mask.
Yeah, get off. You want to hear a scream mask?
It was a scream mask.
Oh, yeah.
It was a
people
scream.
get
it
off.
Was a scream.
I know, like the horror movie. Yeah. But people get off on the weirdest things. So she wanted them to have sex with her while wearing the scream mask.
Them? Who is them?
The students.
Since high school? How many students?
Really two.
I think we got a little video.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Drop the clip.
New tonight, more teenage students in Morgan County are now coming forward, and they're accusing a former teacher of sexual misconduct with a minor. Ashton Hackman is in Morgan County to explain why the prosecutors are now looking to bring even more charges against this woman.
31-year-old Brittany Fortenberry has been held here at the Morgan County Jail since her arrest last month on charges of sexual misconduct with a minor. Since then, 5 new victims have come forward with additional allegations.
Prosecutors have asked to file up to 24 additional criminal charges against her, including 10 counts of child molesting, sexual misconduct with a minor, and 13 other charges for disseminating material harmful to minors and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Court documents say all of the teens reported Fortenberry would send them nude and explicit photos and videos on Snapchat and force them to have group sex at her Martinsville home. A child victim advocate says it's important for parents to feel comfortable having difficult conversations with their children.
And what we just encourage is that parents kind of ask that open-ended question and they give their children a chance to speak, and then they praise their courage at that time rather than asking them questions about what they did or why they didn't tell. The last thing that we want is a child to feel blame or shame as a result of making a disclosure.
We reached out to the Morgan County Prosecutor's Office to see when these formal charges will be filed. We have not yet heard back. In Morgan County, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
All right. Whew, okay.
They really mad. They
Okay.
want to be some of the students so bad.
No, that's like junior high, dog. I mean, what's the
Look,
junior
some
high?
people don't care. They said
That's-
junior
that's-
high.
That's come on,
But
Sick.
that's it. That's it.
look,
She
look,
got
look,
that.
look. He looking like thinking.
I'm thinking it was. I
Kojak
thought it was
said
high
he think
school.
his wife listening. Oh,
I'm
junior
gonna be
high.
honest.
Thank you. Please
Yeah.
be
When I
honest.
was 14, I was trying to holler.
They
at
said
grown
14?
women. Yes, and that was just junior high.
He rubbed his
I
hands together. Oh,
was-
yeah.
I
Look,
was
dad,
in
Kojak.
the ninth grade, but
Look, he felt nasty.
when I was in 14, I was trying to holler at grown women. My mama ran a grown woman off, and I was so embarrassed, man. She ran a ground. She looked like Ola Ray back in the day. Kojak, she looked like Ola Ray. Kojak, you remember Ola Ray was in the woman in Thriller from Thriller?
Yeah.
And she used to work at the little clothing store next door to my mom's beauty shop, right? And so every
She
day
had a Jerry curl?
Look, he think about it right now.
Every day.
Yeah,
When I
that's
got home
something
from school, I'll go if I wasn't doing here, I would go next door and be in them racks like this, standing between the clothes racks. Like, yeah.
She like your hey Miss Parker, the person
right,
like that.
right.
Hey
And,
Miss
and
Parker.
nothing ever happened, but I wanted something to happen.
Oh Lord.
But she did come to the beauty shop and sit down on her lunch break, and my mom came up and my mom was like, can you tell me what it is that you want with a 14-year-old boy? Man, you could have bought me for a nickel.
He was mad. Mom, why you hate Mom?
No, I was this close. No,
You fast was that's mannish. Well, they said mannish. Look. I wonder if she's still living. She's still living. You still want a chance?
I don't. Hey, she was 24 at the time. I was 14.
I was gonna see what you're gonna say. But no,
buddy,
I do have a question, and it's these certain circumstances. Sometimes when you're molested or taken advantage of, some people become promiscuous, or I say hoe, have hoe syndromes, or they become bisexual, gay. Do you think this is true, or how do you feel about that?
It's very true. Even going into college, I questioned my sexuality after having a man to violate you. You kind of sort of don't even look at dudes or anything like that. You don't look at them the same.
But it's more of from not a man. No man violate you as an adult. Did they? When did you said you?
I was a child when I was violated.
Okay, tell us that story.
So I was violated by a family member. It started off with just fondling. Of course, they're gonna act like you're wrestling and playing and stuff like that. Fondling then moved to even more. And so, and if I could share just a personal experience,
You don't have to give us the glossed over version.
I couldn't stand saliva, like spit. So even when I got married, I don't
But why could you stand?
I'm about to go into that. Give me a second.
He ready to learn.
Listen, so of course, when you're younger,
Kojak's like, wait a minute, I don't know where she's going, Kojak. You know, okay.
When you're younger, you don't have moisture. As a young lady, you don't have moisture. So you don't have any lubrication. So of course, that's what he had to use in order to get his penis into my vagina.
Oh my God. Okay. You just went.
That's why I said I did not like saliva. So there's a lot of things that come into play while young women or young men end up going to the same sex or becoming promiscuous or anything, because something was deposited when you got violated. So now you don't know what you want. You don't know, that this felt nasty. This did not feel good. And then of course that's already been open for you. So now you got to feed something. You're like, okay, well, I'm missing something because I haven't had it, because this person does not violate you anymore. So you may become promiscuous and you're going to have sex with Tom, Dick, and Harry. Or you're going to go over here and say, well, I don't want that no more. I know that didn't feel good. Let me try this. And so that's how that comes about. So it's very true. If you don't deal with the issues, if you don't get healed from those scars from your past, it can affect your adulthood. So I believe that's very true, Jelly.
So how does the relationship with the person that did this? Do you still have a relationship with that person? I don't know.
After this person,
What
they ended up getting in
help.
They go to jail.
They didn't go to jail. Of course, y'all know in a lot of families we sweep a lot under the rug.
Oh, yeah.
You'll
That's a
be okay.
cultural
You
thing, too.
deal with it the best that you can. What happens in your house stays in your house. You better not speak about it. Of
You
course,
get a whooping.
I'm pretty sure a lot of us have heard that.
Let me before you go to his question, let me ask you this. Who told you that? To keep it to you, to keep it.
No
in the
one
house?
told me to keep that to myself, but other conversations. What happened in this house, stay in this house.
I
So if
got
you've
you. Yeah,
heard
so
that
signal.
growing up,
Yeah.
you know not to say, you ain't gonna take nothing outside of this house. So I let my mom know what was going on. I did tell her what was going on or whatever, but this person ended up getting incarcerated for something else. And once the Lord started dealing with me about forgiveness, because I had to forgive the young lady that I got into a fight with and cut me and everything. He began to let me know that there were some other areas that I needed to forgive in. So once this person was released, and he actually got released on my daughter's birthday. And so it's like a day I'll never forget. I had to tell him that I forgive him. I had to let him know that, hey, you don't have to hold your head down, and you need to forgive, letting him know you need to forgive yourself as well. But I did let him know, hey, I have to forgive you because what you done to me affected me from then all the way up. I can't even love my husband like I'm supposed to or allow us to be intimate like we need to, because I still had some unforgiveness in me. I still was certain things my husband couldn't do to me. And when you're married, your husband should be able to, whatever y'all discuss. I ain't gonna say everything, but let me correct that. But whatever you guys have, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you guys agree on, it shouldn't be that he can't do this, or he can't kiss you like this, or he can't rub you like this, because of you're identifying it what happened to you as a child.
It's called your ACEs, the adverse childhood experiences.
So
and then women are so mental, so like we're so mental, so we're
Yeah.
mentally turned off. It's just hard. But I have a question.
Remember Dr. Lynette Anderson talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah,
that.
when you're getting intimate, it's a whole lot.
It's
there
a
from
mental.
women.
Yes.
She's actually watching, but yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Dr. Anderson.
Hey, Dr. Anderson.
Hey, girl.
What
But
up,
anyway,
what
I
up,
have a
what up?
question though.
You see that?
Go ahead.
When you date somebody, so when you start dating your husband, is that something you disclose? You feel like people should disclose, like, hey, I was molested because like you said, it has so much long term, and you work with women who may not, they might be married and their husband
still
don't
have
know.
not told their husband.
That's crazy.
And
I'm
so
sorry.
here's the thing.
Yes,
So here's the thing. My husband knew that I had been violated. He didn't know how in depth it was.
How did he know?
I shared with him that I had been molested. Yeah. But most people think molestation is just a fondle, it's just a touch.
Yeah.
So you have to actually add in that word rape, because as a child, you don't consent to someone having intercourse with you,
Yeah.
So
How old were you?
Yeah, about to ask that.
I cannot remember the age.
Okay.
I know that I had not started my monthly cycle or any of that.
You gotta be under 12 then.
Yes.
13, 12.
So I don't remember the exact age. I know that it went on for a few years.
Let me ask you this. Where was your protection? The people that were supposed to protect you, who was protecting you or not protecting you?
So I believe because it was made in our family, I believe it was made. I wouldn't say that it was okay, but I think it probably had happened to others. So once I let my mother know what went on, of course, she kicked this person out. She did, or whatever, said what she had to say. But I wouldn't say that I had a protector there, because to me, my dad was my protector, but my dad was in a like the old people home, like the healthcare facilities. He was there because he was older. My parents were older when they had me. So my dad was 62 when he had me. So of course he was alcoholic, a functioning alcoholic, military, all of that. But anyways, he became ill and stuff like that. So he wasn't there. So to me, if he would have been home, this would have not happened.
Right.
So
and that speaks to my point, right? Our the job of a parent, right, or the village is to protect, right, especially the men, to protect the women and children. I always say that. I keep saying it, right? And you're a living testament of, once these things happen, that seed that's planted there grows and it takes root,
Mhm.
and then it starts bearing fruit,
Mhm.
right? And the fruit that was being born was the anger, the you say promiscuity, the questioning of sexuality, and then the relationship issues.
Absolutely.
You know, and
Trust issues,
trust
all
issues,
of that.
right. Yeah,
All of that.
yeah, and that's incredibly unfortunate. But here's what's crazy also is that, you know, molestation in the Black community is incredibly prevalent. You know, a lot of people try to, you know, it's a cultural issue too. You know, don't nobody want to talk about that, right?
Yes.
You know, but it's happening. It is happening a lot in the
whole
Black
lot.
community and has been for generations.
Yes.
Right. And I think then it's just me and my uneducated position that it's a holdover from slavery. You know, because back in the slavery days, you know, they were forced to mate with, you know, relatives and daughters, and you know, in these breeding programs and so on and so forth. You know, when they outlawed the imports of slaves, that meant that those slaves had to then breed their own and start, you know, creating their own slaves, right? And so, and there was a lot of that was going on. There's a lot of people commenting on the live too, saying, you know, you're a strong woman and very brave.
Strong.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Can she answer my question though?
I thought she answered.
No.
What was it?
Should you tell people before you date? She never get answer.
So
She
like I
didn't answer.
said, I
wanna
told my
know.
husband, but I didn't go in depth. And there's a lot of women that I work with my ministry that I have, ma'am, that
What does that stand for?
marriage after molestation.
Okay.
And so it's for singles and married. I do want to put that out there. It is for singles and married.
Men and women.
Men and women. So, but I'm called to the women. That's who I can help through this healing, because I'm not a man. So I think it is something that you should share, because you'll wonder why there's a disconnect in your marriage. And of course, I'm like, why is she acting like this? Or it could be the wife saying, why is he acting like this? Because of course, men are not vocal on saying, I was violated.
Right. 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 'Cause what man wants to say that?
Or
And
especially
then you got this woman who does not have the capacity to even handle that and be like, oh girl, he gay.
Right.
No, just because I was violated, that does not make me gay.
Yeah.
I'm sharing it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to identify myself with that. I just wanted to let you know, hey, this has happened to me.
Right.
So
let me ask you this question. You know, married after molestation. What are some of the common themes that you are hearing from the people that you encounter that are you know, come to your organization for support?
They haven't dealt with the childhood molestation or the rape. They haven't dealt with it. They're like, hey, I'm wondering why I'm feeling like this, or every time I get in a relationship, this happens. You have to heal. And healing is a journey. It's continuous. So once you think, oh, I'm good now, it's something else that might come back up. And so I just let everyone know that it's more than just a physical thing. It's spiritual as well. You got it. Mental health. You have to take care of your mental. So that's one of the main things, them not dealing with it, them not actually being okay talking about it. And so that's when I was able to be obedient with the Lord. It's like, hey, there's so many women that I need you to be in contact with to help them, because of course, I've seen on the show you don't be talking about marriage a whole lot. Jelly bean team marriage, but
I need some mental health help.
He gonna be married again.
Yeah, but marriage is important, and when there's a disconnect, it says that two become one, right? So when there's a disconnect because there's a lack of communication to a certain level, that inner healing, that is really big. Your mental health, you have to talk about that. That's something that you have to deal with, because it's like you said, it's a seed that was planted, it becomes a root and it grows.
You know, and it affects every aspect of your life.
Yes, every
Your
aspect.
job,
Yep.
relationships on the job,
Absolutely.
right? Relationships, interpersonal relationships,
friendships.
relationships with your kids.
Yes.
You can come out overly protective of
I
your
know somebody like
Yes.
that. It's happened to her, and she like, no, my kids ain't going nowhere, ain't spending no money, nobody, ain't doing nothing. But I have a question. With speaking all this help, have you sought help through a therapist? Like what?
Yes. So
Okay.
I received counseling as well as spiritual counseling. I got both.
Okay.
That's good to hear.
You,
Some people think they don't need
And
both.
you're still getting it?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I have the best mentor, counselor. I don't even know what to call her, sister. I have the best. We talk. She makes me talk things through. And I think she's watching.
Hey,
Hi,
girl.
Joyce.
Hey, Joyce.
Joyce.
What's her name? Joyce?
Joyce.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Joyce.
What's Joyce's last name? Send her a shout. Shit. You don't want to say her
Joyce
last name?
Neely.
Okay.
She
Joyce
should be.
Neely.
She
Joyce.
should be on there.
All them millions of Joyces out
Right.
there.
Hey, Joyce.
Hey, Joyce.
So, but yes,
Everybody waving and shit like we're talking today.
so it's a continuous thing.
Yeah.
So even while I'm helping these other young ladies, you still got to get help. You got to talk about
What you
this.
struggle with today then?
What do I struggle with today?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a good one, Jelly. I would say sometimes my confidence in walking on in who I am, because I'm not one of those people who, people get the big head and they just be like, I got this. I'd be like, no, I ain't got this. So even coming here today, I was like, oh, I'm so nervous.
You done been how many times?
Right. And I come here, y'all like family to me. Right. I just never.
She does my hair and makeup, y'all. If y'all want to see the face behind my hair and makeup, this is her right there, right there.
But
Okay.
have you embraced your purpose? The fact that maybe see, a lot of times I tell people we don't know.
God, he always got
We don't know why it's happening when we're in them traumas, right?
Yes.
And the interesting thing about it is when you are in survival mode in these traumas, you black out, right? And you're not even walking in a real reality. You're walking in this space where your mind and your body converts to survival mode.
Listen,
am I lying?
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, it's just that. But I have come into agreement with what I know that it's bigger than me now. At first I was like, why? But now I know that it's bigger than me. And so there's other women who need me.
Yes. So with the book, in the book that they have, I don't got the book, and I ain't got the hands. They ain't gonna be zooming in my hands. I'm talking my hands.
Okay, come to me.
What can they expect to learn in this book? The beauty in my scars.
And those are the actual scars, right?
Yeah, those are scars on her body.
Yeah.
That is actually my chest.
Look how she's
area.
smiling at them scars. Though. Who
I
smiles
can
at?
smile now.
Look, change the camera. Change the camera. The scars. Look, she's smiling through them scars. Okay.
I can smile now. So
yeah, I know you smiling about them scars, girl. Cause look,
right. But there's purpose in everything.
Yeah, I know.
There is. So in this book, it's gonna take you on a journey.
Okay.
Starting from when I was born, all the way into me walking into my full purpose of helping other women, and how there was no, like, I couldn't have did this by myself. Like, at all. I had people who were pushing me, as well as me being able to trust who God was calling me to be. So a lot of people don't trust who God is calling them to be.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, and we'll wrap up here, but interestingly enough, a lot of times when we don't know what the purpose of us going through what we go through, right, and we survive, but I tell people, you survived it for a reason.
Yes, don't let it be in vain.
Right. And there is purpose in everything. And then when years later, when you look back and you start seeing how everything is laying out in front of you and it's almost effortless, the people that you needed, right time, right place, right, then you understand, okay, this is my purpose, so I need to be telling my story. Your story is your gold. I keep on saying that.
And I commend you for telling your story.
Yeah,
like they said, it takes courage to be to be an open book and face scrutiny, because somebody needs to hear it. So hopefully this encourages somebody else to tell their story to help other people. Because I always say, what God takes you through is your ministry. So I have a ministry. You have one, Parkinson.
He got one.
The Lord's still working Kojak. And I don't know what
he help people.
I don't know.
I believe he does.
Thank you, baby.
Because he helps
welcome to the show anytime.
even having you on the show.
Thank you. There you go.
You into
hold on. You don't win left. You don't win left. You don't win left. No, I'm helping him. No,
but I'm saying y'all are all here. That's what I'm saying. You might be helping him, but it's still.
Now, Parkinson, I am going to do a shameless plug and assignment on here. So Now her nonprofit, ma'am, Marriage After Molestation, needs to be official. So I told her she needs to reach out to the guest we had, the Seed Foundation, and legitimize.
Yeah,
As he
go on
said.
and legitimize.
She needs help. What is it? I'm a jack it up.
You jack it up, legitimize.
Thank you.
Yeah, go on and make it an official.
The non,
501c3.
yeah, but
Yes.
she needs the help. She's one of the nonprofits I was talking about that needs the help
we can
because the
help direct
funding.
her in there.
Thank you. All right,
Okay,
there,
awesome.
there.
So
it
I got
is.
one thing.
Say
Okay,
it.
one thing.
Ma'am has an event
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow. Our Paint and Praise. So it's just women. It's
Paint
gonna be
and praise.
10
That's
women.
dope,
Yes. Instead of sipping, we're not sipping. We sipping. We
Pull
sipping
up and
on
get
some
one of these
regular
church
juice.
women, man.
But anyway,
Let me hear you.
anyway,
You gonna say, let me hear you, baby. You gonna
we
give 'em-
have I have 2 free tickets that I would love to give away to some new women.
Kojak like free.
So you
Okay.
guys can
Let me plug this. Can I plug this right here?
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
she wants
Well, you plug it. Plug it. Look right into that camera and tell
Okay,
them.
so just go over to mammovement.com. That's mammovement.com. Send me a little message on the little chat. It's like I want to chat and let me know so that I can get your ticket to you. You'll have the address and everything, and just come. You don't have to bring anything, just bring yourself.
And
that's
follow.
2 tickets. Hit the follow button, go over to our page, Ma'am Movement, Instagram, Facebook, as well as what else? What else I got?
Oh, TikTok.
And they need to follow the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Antonio
You will
Parkinson
verify.
Project.
And we'll put the
Please.
link up too.
Yes.
We'll put the
So
link up.
yes, that's it.
If they need help, can they go to that same link?
Go to the same link,
If they
send a
need help.
message.
Okay.
That's what's up, man. Man, y'all give it up, Sheree. For
Come on
Sheree.
now.
Give it up.
Now,
for
and
her.
where can they buy this book? Where can they buy this book?
At
They can
mammovement.com.
they can purchase the book at mammovement.com as well as Amazon. Ma'am Movement, you'll get a personal signature, little message, all of that if you get it from the mammovement.com.
All right,
All
y'all.
right.
Y'all heard it right here on the Antonio Parkinson
Yes.
Project.
Okay.
Again, y'all give it up for Sharita in the building, baby.
So proud of
baby.
you.
Yeah, baby. Married after molestation, Ma'am Movement. And so
Yes.
thank you for everything you do. We truly appreciate you. What a golden soul.
I know.
What a golden soul.
Strong.
Strong.
I know.
So listen, y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Share this show because this will be very helpful to a lot of people. Don't you think
Yes.
so, Angela?
Yes. We
Yeah.
need
Definitely.
it.
All right.
Definitely.
Man, again, thank y'all for watching. We'll see you on the next show. You've been watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.